Welcome to another episode of the Vol Bros. My name is Evan. This is my brother Rustin. We are two Vol Bros who are actually bros. And man, we are so excited about our show today. I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. When we started this podcast, we had some, dreams and stuff in the future, like, well, who do we want to have on the show, that kind of stuff. Well, let me tell you, today is one of those days. Rustin, how excited are you to have our special guest that we'll introduce here in a second on the show today?
This is going to be awesome. A lot of fun.
So many people are well aware that there are only two coaches in the history of Tennessee football that have never lost a game. Jim Chaney is one of them. And the other one is the coach that's joining us today, Coach Lance Decker. He is the head coach at Chattahoochie Middle School and the Fighting Beavers. Is that right, Coach?
That's right, Evan. Thank you.
And he is 150-0. Listen, I don't care what level of football you're coaching, whether that's middle school, high school, pee-wee football, it doesn't matter. 150-0 is impressive. And so congratulations, Coach, on such an illustrious career so far. We know that you got many years ahead of you still. You could reach 300-0 if you wanted to.
Yeah, probably will. It is remarkable, to be honest with you. It's pretty awesome, if I do say so myself. So thanks for the introduction. I'm excited to be with the Vol Bros today. You guys are awesome.
Well, thank you. We appreciate that. So I guess what everybody really wants to know is, the man, the myth, the legend here, Coach Lance Decker. How did you get into the coaching profession to begin with?
Yeah, well, that's a good question, Evan. And I've been coaching my whole life, to be honest with you. My dad was a coach. He coached at Chattahoochie High School, the Fightin Otters. George Decker. He was an Army major. We called him Major Decker. And even I had to call him Major Decker. But he was the coach there with the Fightin Otters at Chattahoochie High School. And then when I turned 16, I became the head coach at Chattahoochie Middle School. I was that good. I was able to start coaching when I was 16. And so that's how I got started. I've been coaching my whole life. It's in my blood. I got coaching in my blood. A little bit of cholesterol also in there, but mainly coaching is in my blood. Yeah.
So if you started coaching when you were 16, that means you were in high school. Were you in high school at the place your dad was coaching and then coaching his feeder program from the middle school? Is that what was the arrangement there?
That's right. We had the ultimate process, the recruiting process, getting them from middle school to high school. I was so talented as a coach when I was a kid. I was diagramming plays and things when I was in preschool in my crib, even when I was little. It was unbelievable. And so, yeah, I just started coaching. He made me head coach when I was 16 because he was also the athletic director for both schools. And now I'm the athletic director for the middle school and the head custodian as well. Yeah.
Oh, nice. So it sounds like you're a prodigy if it's from the crib. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. I've been doing it for a long time. And I don't want to say I'm the best, but 150-0 is pretty good.
Numbers don't lie.
It's pretty close to perfection.
Right.
So, Coach, when you think about your coaching career and early on in development, who would you consider your coaching role model, or who was kind of influential in building you up as a coach?
Yeah, well, that's an easy answer, Rustin, to be honest with you. I can think of four individuals right now that impacted my coaching career in philosophy. The first one is me. I inspire myself daily. And when I look at the coaching that I did years ago, and I think, well, God, that's some of the best coaching I've ever seen in my life. And then I implement it today as I'm coaching, right? So first, me, I'm the number one influence in my own coaching. Two is my dad, Major Decker. He's the one that taught me everything I knew about coaching when I was in, diapers. And third is Bobby O'Shea. He's the head coach from the movie Little Giants, played by Rick Moranis. Just proof that you don't have to have the best talent, to win football games. And so
a lot of great leadership lessons there.
Absolutely. And then fourth is just Al Pacino's character in Any Given Sunday. Those are my four coaching role models right there.
Quite the paradigm between Rick Moranis and Al Pacino. Those two things go pretty opposite of each other. So when you think about those four individuals, including yourself, what did you take from those people, or what's one thing you took from one of those people that you implemented into your coaching style?
Yeah. Well, obviously I try to bring Pacino's aggression and intensity, combined with Danny O'Shea's humility, and then my dad always had some great one-liners for me. He always had some inspirational quotes that really kind of got to me. One of them was like, he always say, "Winners win because they don't lose," and that just stuck with me. And,
Profound.
And it's
Profound.
true. It's true. And so that's really kind of how it shaped me. And that's what I pulled from those three folks. Yeah.
And then obviously, like you said, looking back on your prior years of coaching, what you took from yourself was just not to reinvent the wheel, but to continue to do what you've always done.
Exactly. That's right. Because if you just keep winning, then you'll never lose.
No one ever complains.
No one complains about a 10-0 season. It's never happened. So we've got some happy parents over at Chattahoochee Middle School.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I guess most people became accustomed and began to know you whenever you became the head coach of the University of Tennessee.
Yeah.
And that was obviously a major coup for the university to have somebody who had never lost a game ever. And if memory serves correctly, they got you at a pretty good price too, for the university. I remember that from your opening press conference.
Yeah.
So what was it? Just give, I know it wasn't a real long stint there at UT, but
7 days. Yeah. 7 days.
Yeah. Sorry about that, Coach. But what was it like those 7 days? Like, take us through the life of a head coach at Tennessee. What was that like for you to be the man? I'm surprised we didn't see you on First Tennessee Bank commercials or First Horizon now, but like in those Eastman Chemical Plant commercials, like you were going to get to throw a bottle into a recycle bin, like all that kind of stuff on the things. But what was it like to be the head coach for those 7 days?
That's a great question. And those were some of the things I was most looking forward to that I did not get to do during my 7 days. But it was a great time. I really expected them to really roll out the red carpet for me and all that kind of stuff. That didn't really happen, which I thought was interesting. It's almost like people didn't even know I was there. I mean, it was kind of weird. Yeah, but I mean, they were all great. Everybody was really nice to me. One of the issues that we had there, which I think is why they replaced me quick, is that, coaching middle school is different than coaching collegiate athletes. Rustin, you've coached high school athletes. That's different than middle school. It's all different. And so,
yep.
Like I've said before, we're accustomed to doing things differently. So, at team, 2 days we were providing lunch, but it was mainly, Uncrustables and, packets of applesauce, things like that. And they just didn't jive with the players. They just weren't buying in to what we were trying to do.
The nutrition staff didn't like that either?
Nutrition staff they were a real pain in the butt, to be honest with you.
Oh, man, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. No offense. No, I mean, they're great people, but that was one of the things that, we kind of butted heads about early on. But also my coaching philosophy is like, we don't, it's pretty aggressive. We don't punt. I pulled the punter off the team and told them we don't need him anymore. And they didn't think that was a good idea either. So we don't punt. We go forward on fourth down every single time. We usually get it. So those types of things don't fit as well in a collegiate football atmosphere.
So let me ask you this then. So did Billy Napier come and watch your team play in preparation to play Tennessee this year? Because that was pretty much his approach during the game.
I believe he did. And he, I would love to help Billy Napier. I'd be happy to help him a little bit. I could be a role model for him, like I've been for so many others. So now, what he may not know, because he's probably not listening to this podcast, because is that I probably would intentionally put some not so good things in there in the playbook, so that when he plays with us again,
that's smart.
We got him. See. There's a lot going on up here, Evan.
Yeah, I see that. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So, Coach, how does it feel to be one of only two people, you and Jim Chaney, which I'm a big Jim Chaney fan. How does it feel to be one of only two people, you and Coach Chaney, who are undefeated at Tennessee?
Well, you're a big Jim Chaney fan. That makes just one of us, because But it is good to be in such company. Of course, if you're in the same room as Jim Chaney, you're probably somehow near him. But here's the thing. For Jim, it was probably quite a special thing to say, hey, I'm undefeated at Tennessee, for the half a game he coached or whatever it was. But for me, it's just another day. I mean, I'm used to being undefeated. It's what I do. I mean, it's literally my name is Coach Lance Decker 150-0. Like I had it legally changed to have the 150-0 at the end of my name. So
it says it on the screen right now. So there you go.
Look at that.
Laws in Tennessee are pretty lax on that. It's a pretty simple change.
They are. So anyways, I'm used to it. A lot of folks are not used to it, but it's just what I've done my whole life. Like Ricky Bobby, you get up in the morning and we pee excellence.
Yep.
Yeah.
I actually wondered when you were talking about coaching influences if maybe you might bring him up at some point because I felt like there was definitely a Ricky Bobby vibe to a lot of what you were saying.
Well, I mean, I subscribe by the same values. If you ain't first, you're last.
That's right. Second place is first loser.
That's right.
All right. So let's talk about this season at Tennessee. So what were kind of your thoughts about how this season went for the Vols?
I tell you what, it was a great season for the Vols. I can't remember a time I've been more excited about Tennessee football than I was this year. It was amazing from the first game to the last. I know we had a couple heartbreakers in there with the Gamecocks. I don't like to talk about them and give them any kind of credit, but that was a rough one. But I tell you what, that Alabama game it will go down as the greatest day in my life. I've still got my cigar here that I smoked that night. I kept the end of it here. I mean, honestly, for me, there's the three biggest days of my life in order. This year when we beat Alabama, the day I got married, and then my kid's birth. That's it. And Tennessee, Alabama was number one.
And all your kids share number 3?
They all share number 3. That's right. Because, there's no favorites. No favorites. Right. They're all sweet, cute little girls, especially little Al Wilson. She's a real, she's a big one. She looks a little bit like Al. It's kind of weird. I don't know. Not sure what to think about that, to be honest with you. But anyways, yes, amazing season. Can't wait for next year. Josh Heupel is absolutely the guy for the job. And I would love for him to call me up and maybe find a place for me on the staff. Possibly
needs a tight ends coach.
See? I can coach some tight ends. I was thinking maybe more minister of culture, kind of like, that Mark McConaughey guy at Texas. Yeah.
Well, speaking of Josh Heupel, I know it's kind of a sensitive subject because he was the person who replaced you as head coach.
He did.
And I apologize for bringing that up in this setting. I probably shouldn't have. Sorry. I didn't want to touch a nerve or anything there. As a very successful football coach yourself, what impresses you about Coach Heupel?
Well, there's a lot of things. His offensive mind, that's what it is. I think that's the biggest thing for me. And he abides by another philosophy that I also abide by that most people don't know about in coaching, which is whoever scores the most wins. Okay.
It's valuable.
That is a really good point. I've never thought about it that way. That's a really good point.
So the goal is to score as many points as you can, which we've done, and have the number one scoring offense in the nation. The best.
Why hadn't anybody else thought of this?
Well, I mean, I hope your podcast does well, but I don't want too many people watching this episode because they're going to find out some things, some secrets of the game. And, but it's all right. That's all right. Yeah, whoever scores the most wins. And so Coach Heupel knows that. He employs that. He knows how to motivate his guys and get them to play. He loves Tennessee. You can see he loves Tennessee. And, when's the last time there was a coach that beat Nick Saban and Dabo Swinney in the same season?
That's a great point.
Legit.
That is a great point.
Yeah. I'm full of great points.
You are. I agree.
I appreciate you guys.
A well of great
I'm
points.
having so much fun right now. Thank you.
So when you think about the upcoming year, because it's never ever too early to talk about next season, what's your prediction for the 23 season?
13-0, Rustin. 13-0. Yep.
No hesitation. That's what I'm talking about.
Nope. 13.
So we're going to stop after the conference championship game. We're not going to progress on to the playoffs.
Oh, sorry. 13-0 regular season, 14-0 after the conference championship, 15-0. I'm not sure how many games we get to play, but we're going to win them all. And we're going to win a national title next year. It does feel like 98, fellas, in 23.
Sure does.
And it's going to be awesome. Joe Milton, Heisman Trophy, go ahead and set it up. It's going to happen. I know some other folks that make videos that think they're funny have made jokes about him missing the deep ball, hitting some camera people and, hitting some people in the stands. But
yeah, who would do that? Good grief.
I don't know. It's rude. It's rude. But I believe he's going to absolutely crush it next year. We got the best running back trio, I think, in all of college football. Jabari Small, Jalen Wright, and Dylan Sampson. I mean, it reminds me of Charlie Garner and Aaron Hayden and
it does.
James Stewart. Come on.
Well, the way Jalen Wright runs the ball, man, he is a tough fellow to bring down. That's for sure. And I saw last night on Twitter, some people were giving you some beef about that. And you finally were just like, hey, listen to me. I'm 150-0. And I was like, that's what I'm talking about. Tell them.
I didn't think I needed to explain myself, like, do you know who I am?
Numbers don't lie, people.
Exactly. I mean, I've literally never lost a football game. Why would you question my assessment of our offense?
Ignorance.
You're probably going to have to use some of that influence to get Joe the Heisman. I think there's a lot of national media members that are always going to make sure that no Tennessee player wins that thing. So you may have to flex a little bit of your football muscle to coerce a few media members to come alongside on that one.
That's a good point, Rustin. You know what, though? I've got some friends in some pretty low places. And so that Heisman committee, I could take care of some of the things there. All right. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah.
So Coach, let me ask you about two of the games next year in particular.
Uh-huh.
We actually get South Carolina much earlier in the season, and it's at home. Mm-hmm. What do you think the atmosphere in Neyland Stadium is going to be like for that game?
I think the stadium is going to explode. It's going to be amazing because I don't know if anybody wants to beat another team as badly as Tennessee and their fans want to beat South Carolina. Shane, I don't know what it is about Shane Beamer. I don't know what it is, but a guy gets on my last nerve. And
I heard Neyland's going to leave orange pit vipers on every single person's seat so everybody can don those when the game ends.
Yes, I think that would be awesome. And that's going to be a huge game for us. I think we're going to dominate. I think we're going to be so mad from last year. We're going to take it all out on them. Yeah.
Well, the other game I was going to ask you about. So, this year Texas A&M obviously struggled, and pretty much any other year when you see them on the schedule, you'd be like, oh man. Mm-hmm. Well, this year we get them at home, and it's after a bye week. Now I know they just hired Bobby Petrino, but what do you think about that game and Tennessee's chance? I mean, you said they're going to go undefeated. So, but how bad do you think they're going to beat Texas A&M after that bye week?
Well, I think it's going to be a pretty good game. Actually, I think Texas A&M is going to be ready to play, but they're not going to have what it takes to beat the Vols. They're just not. All I can picture is Bobby Petrino showing up to a game and that neck brace. He's trying to coach, and nobody can understand what he's saying, and Dumbo Fisher be on the sidelines, roaming back and forth, and dealing out NIL money to his players on the field, and it's not going to come together for him. It's just not. That's the biggest dumpster fire I've ever seen, and the Vols are going to take care of business with the Aggies.
I wonder if A&M's done their due diligence and made sure that Bobby Utrino actually can cross state lines. Like, does his parole allow for that? Or
that's a legitimate question, Rustin. I think we should dig into that. Maybe we can keep him at home. Although I'm not intimidated by Petrino. No.
Well, Coach, I want to ask you one last question here, and I'm sure that you've probably become aware of this, and I don't know, maybe you got like a long lost brother or something. I don't know, but a lot of people say that this guy right here, Josh Mancuso, is your doppelganger. And I'm telling you, I can see it, Coach. He looks a lot like you. Have you ever heard about this guy? What are your thoughts about this guy? I mean, my goodness, he's got 95,800 followers on Instagram.
Woo! He's basically a celebrity, if you ask me. I've heard of him. I've seen his stuff. He's okay. I mean, he's kind of funny sometimes. Handsome fella, I will say that. He's a pretty handsome fella. Yeah, he's got some good stuff there. I like his Tennessee Vols character. It seemed pretty good. He and I are not related though. Mancuso, you said? Is that how you say it?
I believe
Like
that's
that.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, Mancuso. Not related. I have a brother. His name is Daryl Decker. He's actually a pickleball coach, so not the same guy.
Nice.
Yeah, but
Is
it's
that
got
at Chattahoochee Middle or high school?
high school, and he also
Okay, gotcha.
teaches a senior class for older folks.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Rustin, you could probably join in there if you want.
Yeah, I saw a thing the other day that nude pickleball at naked resorts is a thing now. So, anybody can play apparently.
There's something you didn't think you'd hear on the podcast today.
No, but I'm sure glad I did. That's good. Yeah, this guy's pretty funny. He's pretty funny. Yeah, thanks.
So forget this Mancuso guy, Coach. Yeah. Where do we get a Coach Lance shirt like you have on right now? How in the world do we get in contact with you?
That's a high quality sweatshirt right here.
It is
really well made, hand spun fabric. I don't even know what that means. That's probably not true, but it's a good sweatshirt. And I've got a website some people put together for me. It's coachlancedecker.com. Just my name. There it is. Good job, guys. coachlancedecker.com. You got to go there. You can see some my videos. There he is. Wow, God, that was like a year or two ago. I looked a lot younger then, but
everybody needs a Lance Dance shirt.
Yeah,
I have no idea what a Lance Dance is, but
there it is right there. It's just a dab.
Okay.
All I did was steal the dab and claim it as my own Lance Dance. So
that's smart. Hey, trend surfing there. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
If you're the guy with the shirt and you're the one wearing it in the moment, you can call whatever you want.
Yeah. Go back up there, right there. See that quote by Coach Lane Kiffin? Can't stop laughing. This is awesome.
That's a big deal.
I'm talking about.
Yeah. Which is funny because that's what I say every time I watch him in a press conference.
So I see the quote next to it by Eric Ainge. After all the publicity he got in the last week from Georgia fans, do you still want that up or do you want to take that down?
What do they say in Hollywood? All publicity is good publicity. So
There you go.
I'll take it. But
hey,
yeah,
Coach, my favorite thing on your site is on your store. You got a bunch of great options here.
I do.
I love the dab sticker. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
But my favorite thing is
he's all about the Fighting Beavers.
The Chattahoochee Middle School Fighting Beavers shirt. I'm gonna zoom in so people can see this up close here.
Look at that.
That is awesome.
Yeah. You ever seen a beaver play football?
That's a fierce beaver.
Yeah. He's mad. Somebody just pinched him or something because he's mad. He's ready to go. And I'd love for you guys to come down and catch a game next fall in Chattahoochee.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We would love that. Hey, and this shirt, man, it's only $20. That's awesome. $19.99. Can't beat that price.
It's a steal. I'm just giving it away, really.
Exactly.
So, and it comes in different colors as well. If you're, so.
Here, I'll show that to all the people. If you're listening to this on the audio podcast, which we're available on multiple platforms, audio podcast, make sure you go check out a video podcast on YouTube because this shirt, man, it's in we got a cool yellow, a dark gray. We got some options with this shirt. So be sure to check out the video of it so you can see it. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Thank you guys for highlighting my merchandise. It is, I love seeing people wearing their Coach Lance shirts and listen, you too can be undefeated in your life. When you put on this Coach Lance sweatshirt, you can live your day undefeated every day.
And I'm sure a percentage of those proceeds go to supporting the Chattahoochee Middle School football program, correct?
They do. We don't have a lot of financial support, believe it or not. Not a whole lot of high-paying jobs in Chattahoochee, so our booster program is a little low. But
your PTA is not pumping out some money for you.
Yeah, PTA is. I'm also the PTA president. I didn't tell you that.
Oh, gotcha.
I wear a lot of hats at Chattahoochee.
You're a busy guy up there, Coach.
I am. But
Well, Coach, I have a surprise for you. We do this for every guest who comes on our show. We are going to send you a shirt for free that looks like this, an honorary bro, because anybody who comes on our show as a guest is now an honorary bro. And so I'm gonna pull up on our site here. This is what it looks like right here. I'll zoom in so people want to see it here. So I'm going to send you a link in an email, and you can pick which color you want. You are now an honorary bro, Coach Lance Decker. And so we appreciate you being with us so much.
I appreciate it, guys. It's a real honor. It really is. And I'll wear that sucker every day. Thank you.
That's the expectation.
Yeah.
We appreciate that.
You brought me to tears here, and that's not something I'm proud of. I don't cry a lot. Only at weddings.
Hey, real men cry. That's what I've been told on Twitter.
But
so
thank you for the honorary bro. That means a lot. It really does. Thank you.
Well, thank you all so much for watching today. Thank you for listening. If you're on an audio podcast, there are very few times in life when you get to hear such words of wisdom from people who have, evidential proof of their success. And we had that with us today. 150-0 lifetime career as a coach, Coach Lance Decker, from the time he was 16 years old. And so we so appreciate everybody joining in. Rustin and I will be live tomorrow after the Tennessee-Kentucky game. We'll probably go live tomorrow night. We'll post on social media to let you know when that is. Oh, speaking of that, I actually have one last question for you, Coach Lance.
I'll bring it on.
I remember hearing from you that John Calipari actually came and watched one of your practices. So what do you think about his job this year as Kentucky's head basketball coach?
Yeah. Well, he didn't take enough notes when he came down, did he?
Apparently not. You're right. Yeah.
He came down there uninvited. Again, nobody said he could come down there and watch my practices. We were shocked. We're like, he's a basketball coach. What are you doing here? But he had never seen such perfection. He never seen
I understand
such motivation. And so he came and he took, I saw him over there he was taking pictures with his phone and
he had like sunglasses on and stuff.
He did, but I know it was him. But I just can't wait till the Vols play Kentucky, I believe this weekend. Is that right? No,
tomorrow afternoon.
Tomorrow afternoon.
Jersey tomorrow.
All right, we're going to tear them apart.
You heard it here first. You heard it here first, folks. Coach Lance predicting major victory tomorrow.
You betcha.
We appreciate everybody so much for joining us. Here's what's about to happen. We're about to disappear from the screen. It's going to be like magic. We're entering the transfer portal, but we're gonna disappear from the screen in just a moment. And across the middle of the screen, you're going to see three different links. Right in the middle of the screen, you just got to hear Coach Lance's predictions for this season. Well, Rustin and I did a video last week, I think it was beginning of last week, where we gave our predictions for next year. And so that'll be in the middle of the screen. And to the left of that will be a subscribe button to our channel. We hope you do that. And that Josh Mancuso guy, we'll give him some props too. And so on the screen, on the right-hand side will be a circle that you can click to subscribe to Josh Mancuso's channel. I'm sure Coach Lance would appreciate that too. It's his doppelganger, shows support for Coach Lance at the same time. So we appreciate you so much, Coach Lance, for joining us. We hope that you have a fantastic weekend ahead of you, and we'll see everybody next time on the Vol Bros.
Thank you, Rustin.
Have a great
Thank
weekend.
you, Evan. Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Hey, everybody, text a buddy, just like Danny White said. Let him know about Coach Lance and let him know about Vol Bros podcast.
Go Vols, baby.
Bye, everybody. Coach Lance, you want to give us a dab to send us out? I just thought about that.
Oh, absolutely.
That's the way you end the show right there.
That's
what I'm talking about.